and welcome. I'm Tracy Pa with the Midday News. The University of Papua New Guinea is hosting the Inter-Varsity School Debate Competition, which is now underway, bringing together universities from across the country to engage in intellectual battle on pressing national issues. This event will provide a timely platform for discussions, debate, and calls to action as university students, the leaders of tomorrow, tackle matters of national importance. The debate topics include bold themes such as the PNG economy, 50 years now and forward, corruption, taxation and financial reform, Bougainville, and youth and women's issues. These discussions aim to inspire critical thinking and solutions among participants. The 2025 Inter-Varsity Debate Competition officially began on Tuesday, 30th of September, and will conclude on Friday, 3rd October. The three-day Magistrates Judicial Orientation Program officially opened today in Port Moresby. The purpose of this program is to promote judicial competence by assisting newly appointed magistrates to perform their duties and promote excellence in the delivery of justice in district courts. The program will highlight how magistrates apply and balance written law with custom, especially in the land, family and community justice matters. It will also emphasize on conflict of interest, resilience, security, trauma, stress, and mental health. The program ends this Friday, October 3rd. Magistrates from the Solomon Islands have joined their counterparts in Port Moresby for this program.
After some years on the bench, called to meet together to appreciate again the basics of courtcraft, as well as meet and mingle and have a conversation about what a judicial officer's role is. So this 3 days program seeks to, among others, familiarize ourselves with legislation and administrative resources that are available, how that can be utilized to prepare magistrates to be better serving on the bench and conduct around the ethics of things off bench.
Each of you carries an important responsibility. In many ways, you are the face of justice for our people. It is in your courts, through your decisions, that ordinary citizens experience the rule of law. That is a profound responsibility, one that demands not only knowledge and skills, but also wisdom and courage.
The Embassy of the Republic of Korea in PNG will celebrate the Korean National Foundation Day tomorrow in Port Moresby. Korean National Foundation Day falls on August 15, but is celebrated annually in October. The occasion celebrates the origin of the Korean nation and the beginning of its rich cultural and historical heritage. The event, to be held in Port Moresby, will serve as a meaningful occasion to strengthen the friendship between Korea and Papua New Guinea, built on mutual respect and cooperation. Since the establishment of diplomatic ties in 1976, Korea and PNG have shared values and a commitment to development and peace. Korea has played a vital role in educating the people of PNG through scholarships, training programs, and one standout is the Caritas Technical Secondary School run by the Korean nuns, who have served for 30 years educating young girls and women of PNG. There have been assurances but no guarantees that Optus customers will never face another 000 failure. Executives of the telco and the boss of parent company Singtel have held talks with the communication minister after 3 people died when hundreds of callers couldn't connect with the emergency services system.
Another day, another Optus apology. I'd like to apologise on the Optus 000 network outage.
This time from the boss of the telco's parent company, who flew to Australia to meet with Optus executives about the fatal 000 outage.
The incident on the 18th was a process-related incident. People made mistakes.
What is the problem here?
That's a complex question, and I apologise for making that observation, but it is a complex question.
The Singtel boss promising changes will be made.
I'm here to support the Optus board and management and to make sure that future recurrence of this will not happen.
But there's already been another outage. On Sunday, multiple people in New South Wales couldn't call 000.
We are still investigating that, and in due time, I think Stephen will be sharing more once we have the facts of the case.
Optus CEO Stephen Roux fronting the media but not talking. His boss asked multiple times whether he supports him.
We brought in Stephen 11 months ago to transform Optus. It is very early days. It takes time to transform a company. He is here to provide the solution.
But it's not just Stephen Roux's performance that's in the spotlight. Nearly 2 weeks after this incident occurred, the Communications Minister has today met with the telco's leadership team. Annika Wells asking them to appoint external advisors to help, but showing little confidence when asked if Australians can be assured such an outage won't happen again.
That's a question you should put to Optus.
We are calling for an independent inquiry and we want action from this government on the whole 000 ecosystem.
The Minister rejecting calls for further investigations but conceding there's still more she needs to learn.
I'm still a new minister to the industry, so I would say I'm listening to everybody at the moment.
More questions than answers in the midst of a rolling crisis.
Indonesian rescuers are scrambling to locate 91 people feared trapped under rubble after AI Hosini school in the town of Sidoarjo in East Java collapsed. Rescuers ran oxygen and water to students trapped in the unstable concrete rubble of the collapsed school building, and as they desperately worked to free survivors on Tuesday morning, more than 12 hours after the structure fell. Disaster mitigation authorities said at least 3 people were killed and 102 evacuated at the Islamic boarding school when the unstable building gave way during construction. The agency said the building's foundation allegedly could not support the weight of construction on its 4th floor. Tens of thousands of registered nurses in Australia can begin training to prescribe medications to patients. The change was approved by the government last year in an effort to address critical shortages in the workforce, particularly in rural and remote areas. The Australian Medical Association is supportive of the plan, but wants the most addictive drugs to be executed from the list of medicines registered nurses can prescribe. Francis Rice from the Australian College of Nursing says the change will make a major difference for people in remote communities.
Really good distribution of registered nurses in rural and remote locations. Obviously, it could always be better, but this is a great opportunity to give access to those medicines that people need in those harder to reach settings. The important part of this process is that registered nurses are working in a partnership with another authorised prescriber, most likely a medical professional or a nurse practitioner. So as part of this process, they need to have a partnership prescribing agreement which sets out what medications and what medical conditions the registered nurse is able to prescribe for. So that's really a discussion between the prescribing partners on what's appropriate for that nurse in that setting and with their context and scope of practice for what's appropriate for them to prescribe. And that might include Schedule 8 medicines, so the more dangerous pain medications and addictive medications, but that depends on that context of practice. So in palliative care, for example, where registered nurses work all the time, it's really appropriate for them to be able to prescribe pain medication for people as part of their journey towards the end of their life.
In sports, Fiji and Samoan amateur boxer Jasmine Duana-Kama was one of 13 women barred from competing at the World Boxing Championships in the UK early this month after failing to meet a new genetic sex test requirement, a test not available in Fiji. The 20-year-old, who was sidelined with other women boxers from Nigeria, Dominica and the Philippines, was set to be the sole female representing Fiji on the world's biggest stage. The Fiji Amateur Boxing Association only learned of the new testing requirement in July and followed instruction to send samples to an approved UK lab. However, the results arrived the day after the competition draw, meaning Jasmine and others were ruled ineligible. World Boxing has apologized. Its president personally spoke to Jasmine after a sparring session in Liverpool. The PNG Premier Soccer League continued its second part of the season with round 13 matches now underway in Port Moresby and Lae. The triple header in Port Moresby kicked off with PRK Gulf Kamara FC up against Admiralty Highlands FC in the opening match at 9 a.m. Both teams drew 1-1. The match between Star Mountain FC and Kula FC is currently underway. Port Moresby Strikers FC will play Lae City Dwellers at 3 p.m. this afternoon to round up the matches at the PNG Football Stadium. In Lae, the FC Morobe Wawins and Blue Kumuls FC match is also underway at the PNG Football Academy. The second match is at 3 p.m. between Hekari United FC and Lae City FC. During the mid-season players transfer window, some players have switched franchises after being recruited to another club's performance in business end of the season. And that ends the Midday News. Do join us at 6 tonight for the main bulletin. Bye for now.